Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Yogs, and in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the Orlando Magic. That's right. So, the Orlando Magic have quietly made a splash this offseason. They have become one of the NBA's sneakiest contenders, in my opinion. They've made massive moves, and a team that's felt like they've been in a rebuild since, 2010s or after Dwight Howard left, which is kind of crazy to think about. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So let's start out with where the Orlando Magic left off last season. So last year, they finished 8th in the Eastern Conference. They had a 42-40 record. They got into the playoffs by the play-in, beating the Atlanta Hawks out in that very first game. But they have a very good defense that is ranked 2nd in defensive rating last year. But they have an awful offense, right? So that offense was ranked 27th in the league, which was basically what was dragging them down. And I think with the moves that they made this year, they sent a clear message. Defense can only carry you so far. You can't be a very good team if you can't score the ball. So Jeff Weltman, the president of basketball operations, and Jamal Mosley made a call to the Memphis Grizzlies on June 15th, and they traded for none other than who? Desmond Bane, an elite 40% from three sniper in his prime. And I guess you could say it was kind of pricey, so they sent Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, and 4 first-round picks and a pick swap. I mean, those 4 first-round picks is actually pretty insane when you think about it, especially if the Orlando Magic don't play well over the next seasons. But I feel like with the way they've structured their roster, they should play well enough. But Bane is a 19.6 rebound, 5 assist per game player. And I mean, he basically just fills every single hole that the Orlando Magic have right now. His contract lines up really well with the Paolo Banchero situation. They're basically going to be ending their contracts around 2029 or 2030. And I know we like to make a fuss about, draft picks, especially being first round draft picks, but they're picks. Memphis could use those picks and not hit on any player. So the fact that they only traded picks and not, one of their young assets, I think that's really good for the Orlando Magic going forward. Then after the trade, we hit the NBA draft. And I think Orlando did really well in the NBA draft. So they got Jace Richardson at pick 25, who's a shot creating guard, NBA pedigree, really good pick at 25. Some people say it was one of the steals of the draft. And then in the second round, they traded up for Noah Penda, a 6'6" Frenchman with a 7-foot wingspan. They got him at pick 32. And in Summer League, well, they both balled out. So Richardson averaged 16.5 points per game on 2 explosive showings, but then, they kind of shut him down because of ankle soreness or something like that. And then Penda showed that he's an extremely versatile player. So switching everything, guarding 1 through 5, pushing in transition. And they had some other second-year players that really played well. So Tristan da Silva looked really good. So he averaged 18.5 points per game and 38.5% from 3. And I mean, in the Summer League, I really like to see that, especially for those second-year players that have already played a year in the league. They should do better than the rookies coming in. So really nice to see that Tristan da Silva actually balled out in the Summer League really well. And that Orlando Magic team, man, that youth on that team is actually kind of insane. And then in free agency, they also made a really big splash. So instead of getting flashy names, right, I think Weltman hunted fit and leadership. So they got Tyus Jones on a 1-year, $7 million deal, who's one of the best assist-to-turnover ratio point guards in the league. I think he will most likely come off the bench, but we'll get to that in a second. They brought back Mo Wagner on a 1-year, $5 million deal, which keeps the bench energized, stretches the floor, and it maintained that, that Wagner brothers chemistry on the team. And they inked up their start. That's right. So they locked up Paolo Banchero on a 5-year, up to $207 million deal that starts in 2026. And that locks Banchero up until basically 2030. And for a team that's known to not spend a lot of money, Orlando is flirting with the luxury tax right now, which is the first time they've done that since 2011. And then when we look at the depth chart, I think it's going to be kind of funny because, like I said, I think Tyus Jones will be a backup player. They have Jalen Suggs coming back, who was a guy that was dealing with some injuries last year. But I can see Desmond Bane actually being the starting point guard. So I can see Bane at the point, and then you had Jalen Suggs at the 2, Franz Wagner, Paolo, and then Wendell Carter. But maybe Tyus Jones will be the starting point guard for this team. I don't know. I'm curious to see. They're actually kind of low on point guards right now. Got to see what's going to happen. But if Jalen Suggs isn't in the starting lineup, he can come off the bench, be a spark plug for that second squad. You got, like I said, Tristan da Silva playing really well, Jonathan Isaac, I really hope that he is healthy this year. I really like him as a player, but his injury history is not very, very good. And then you got, Anthony Black, Noah Penda, the rookie, should be more of a developmental player, but we'll see how that works out. And Jace Richardson should also get at least 15 minutes a game, I believe. So looking at this lineup, for an offense that had a 109 offensive rating last year, which is basically one of the worst in the league, there is absolutely no shot that this won't go up, right? I feel like with this team, they could get up near, a top 10, top 12 offense in the league. And defensively, they could match once again, that top 2 defense, but that should go down. I see them more like in the top 5-ish kind of range. But we'll see. They are a very, very good defense. Most of their players are coming back. So, I wouldn't be surprised if, they're back in the top 3 as well. So I feel like the front office just did, an excellent work this offseason, right? They bet big on picks, on a proven shooter rather than, going out and trying to get a hypothetical superstar. I think Jamal Mosley is very good at developing players, inside his own locker room. Paolo has really made a big jump. I think Franz, if he can get his 3-pointer back, because he's just been atrocious at shooting the 3, but if he can get that back, that will be really, really good. Jalen Suggs is an all-defense caliber player. Then you got Jace Richardson, played well in Vegas, Noah Penda. I want to see how they're going to utilize him on the offense and defensive side. I think he's a really high upside player, although he's really raw. And I feel like, the financial commitment that the front office has made, giving Paolo the extension, getting Desmond Bane, it really shows that they want to compete and they want to compete right now. So I think if all goes well, I can see the Orlando Magic being a 50+ win team this year, maybe getting home court advantage, at least in the first round of the playoffs. I feel like, if Wendell Carter can show up, Jonathan Isaac, if he can stay healthy, Jalen Suggs, if he can stay healthy, like I said, battling injuries last year. If Paolo Banchero can make the jump, can start knocking down threes, I feel like Desmond Bane will also open up a little bit more. You have to respect his 3-ball. So that's going to open up the lane for Paolo. Franz Wagner as well, driving to the bucket. And if Bane can, just mesh well with the team. It's his first time with the team. It may take some time to get that team chemistry. But if 2 of these 3 things hit, Orlando could mirror the 2021 Suns or 2022 Grizzlies, right? A youthful core that's leapt from promising to powerful overnight. And well, the Orlando Magic have stopped whispering about the future. They've invested financially, emotionally, tactically. They're in the present. They want to compete now. They are a defensive juggernaut. I think they've found a guy that can actually put him over the top offensively, not a major superstar, but just make that offense be good enough to compete. We have a weak Eastern Conference. We have Jason Tatum's going to be out. We have Tyrese Halliburton's going to be out. I think that's pretty wide open. That Milwaukee team, I don't trust that Milwaukee team whatsoever. Although Giannis is, a top 3 player in the league, I just don't trust it. That Milwaukee roster is actually pretty disgusting in my opinion. So we could see Orlando stepping up and competing, with the Knicks or something like that. But, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this Orlando Magic team. I really, really like them. I think they're going to do big things this year. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the content, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit those 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. And that's it for today's video. Peace.